Okay, so now that my computer has started to cooperate, we can get going here. Yay! So, durante la última clase, bien cuando fuimos al laboratorio, ustedes escribieron los apuntes para páginas 1 a 4 del paquete sobre el pretérito. Y hoy van a terminar con los apuntes sobre los verbos irregulares en el pretérito. ¿Ok? Así hay unas cosas importantes que tienen que saber. Y también si ustedes escuchan a otras personas hablando o si escuchan a personas gritando o haciendo ruidos extraños, strange noises, es porque estoy en el estudio de Taekwondo otra vez, como siempre. ¿Ok? Así, vamos. ¡Yay! No, that's not it. Lo siento. Ok, so, para empezar, al principio de la página 5, ok, una cosa importante, y es muy importante, no usamos acentos con verbos irregulares en el pretérito. And hopefully you've had it really ingrained into your head in Español 2, with whichever teacher you had, that accents matter, they're important. We've been over the whole mamá, mama, año, año. We've been over that multiple times, especially if you've had me, okay? But it's really important to realize that when we use irregular verbs in the preterite, there are no accents. And that's something that we'll probably be reviewing in class a little bit over the next couple of weeks. So, we've got a few verbs here, but only 2 slides. And one of the nice things about this is a decent amount of the information that you will need is given to you on the notes sheet, but it's going to be your job to try to put it together and have me check over your work to make sure that you're able to put these pieces together and you're getting the general gist, that you've got the idea. It doesn't have to be perfect the first go around, but the goal is by the end of class today that you're starting to get there, okay? So, empezamos en página 5 también con nuestros primeros verbos, ser y estar. So, ser significa to be, ir significa to go, pero tienen la misma conjugación en el pretérito. Así tienen que leer o escuchar el contexto de la oración para saber si estamos usando ser o ir. So, fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fuisteis, fueron. Be careful of your spelling and make sure that you get everything down correctly. Now, at the bottom of página 5, and if you had me last year, these charts will probably look fairly similar. You see 2 separate boxes. One is actually a text box and the other is a small table. You've got this list of several irregular verbs that have a lot in common because all of them have an irregular stem. In other words, the front part of the verb goes completely crazy. It's very, very different from what you're used to normally seeing. But the one thing that all of these verbs also have in common is that they share one set of endings. So if you take a look at the box where it says share these endings, the table a la derecha to the right, you'll notice that you have iste, o, imos, istes, ieron. So all of these irregular verbs that have their regular stems use the same set of endings. So a couple of examples I'm going to give to you out loud to see if that helps. Start putting 2 and 2 together, and then at the top of página 6, tienes que escoger 3 de estos verbos. 3 verbos de esta lista de irregular verbs and stems de la página 5 y conjugarlos. See? And do not continue on to get your last batch of information before you have me check these conjugations. And if you end up having to wait a minute, make sure that you're patient. So, for example, if I wanted to say I walked, I would say yo anduve. If I wanted to say you were, with the estar form of tu, it would be tu estuviste. If I were to say he or she could, or he or you formal could, it would be él, ella o usted pudo. For we put, nosotros pusimos. You all wanted, and this is the form that's only en España. Vosotros lo siento quisisteis. And finally, this is actually an important one to make sure we note. If I were to say you all or they found out, ellos or ustedes supieron. You all likely recall that saber means to know facts or information in every other tense except for el pretérito. In el pretérito, it means to find out. Also note here that if you choose to do the verb hacer, and when you end up conjugating the verb hacer, you start off with is, H-I-C, for most of the forms, but the L-A usted form is completely wonky. It's iso, H-I-Z-O. And the reason for that is, if you keep the letter C before the O, the C sound becomes hard, k, instead of soft. And the whole goal of changing that C to a Z is to maintain that soft sound, so iso. Once again, you need to pick tres verbos irregulares de página 5 de la caja de irregular verbs and stems, conjúgalos, y después yo tengo que chequear tu trabajo. Después de terminar con todo eso, ok, y aquí vamos otra vez. Yay! I'm going to go into a place where hopefully we don't hear the hitting quite as loudly, but we'll see. I'll keep my fingers crossed, but not hold my breath. So, yeah, that may have been, yeah. Oh well. Lo siento. Gracias por su paciencia. So, we have dos verbos, which are J verbs, and there are other verbs that follow the same pattern as well, such as traducir, to translate, and conducir. So you have decir, to say, or to tell. Please note all the I's and the J's in the conjugation, especially of dijimos and dijistes. You got lots of I's and J's together in decir. Dije, dijiste, dijo, dijimos, dijistes, dijeron. Note that that the ending of dijeron is just E-R-O-N. Traer, to bring, is very similar. Traje, trajiste, trajo, trajimos, trajises, trajeron. Same thing with the ending there as well. Now, the last verb at the top of Página 7 is your last irregular, and I've included it here even though it's not on the slide. Dar is irregular. It conjugates the exact same way as ver. The only thing you have to do is change the first letter from a V to a D. So, we have dar, to give, di, di, no hay acento, diste, dio, dimos, distes, and dieron, D-I-E-R-O-N. If you have other information, especially dar, that you'd like me to check over, make sure that you levanta la mano and call me over. Otherwise, completa la actividad al final de la página 7 y después van a hablar conmigo. Bueno, voy a chequear su trabajo otra vez. Gracias.